This is the month that your highest self is literally shining down on you and calling you forward into your purpose. And the level of clarity that you receive this month and take action on is going to determine the success that you experience in the coming year, because this is one of the most powerful months to reset your life and literally travel back in time to make different decisions from a different level of consciousness that can change the present and on into the future. So we are in Virgo season. This is right before we move into Rosh Hashanah, which are the high holidays in the Jewish tradition. So it's your cosmic reset button. We're here to identify, just because you wanted something once doesn't mean that that's going to be for you forever, and that is okay. And so, like, looking at the decisions you're making on a daily basis and asking yourself, are these still in alignment with what I really desire? Am I just on autopilot, or is this something that's really important to me? For example, I decided I wanted to grow more on YouTube and make YouTube videos because I had initially started growing my business on TikTok, going live on TikTok, and it worked. It was just really draining. And once you finish going live on TikTok, that live is gone. Whereas you could take that same hour and put it in making a YouTube video, and it would stay on there into the future. And YouTube doesn't penalize you for trying to link people to your school and growing your community, whereas TikTok really doesn't like that. And I noticed I was putting a lot of energy into TikTok, which was no longer, it's not that I'm going to stop doing it, but I noticed that pattern in myself because YouTube just takes longer, right? But it's the slow burn, and as a 4/6 projector, it's more in alignment with where I'm going. So I'm going to walk you through how to do this during Virgo. And then also at the end, I have a weekly miracle reset formula that I give to my clients every week inside Spiritual Business School, and I'm going to share it with you. All right. So this month, it's ruled by Mercury. Virgo is very much in their head. It's very detail oriented, analytical, and people see them as judgmental, very judgmental. But what we don't realize is they're not just judgmental. It might be of others, but it's more so to themselves. They're very, very hard on themselves. They see the perfected outcome and then they work backwards. And anything less than perfect is just not good enough. They can be really, really hard on themselves. And so this month is about shifting from the head to the heart. By the way, if you're getting value from this, please remember to subscribe below and join my Spiritual Business School, where we dive into this more deeply. It's skool.com/Amanda, skool.com/Amanda. Okay. So they can have this fear of not being useful. So like I mentioned, the perfectionism, really harsh criticism, overworking, hustle, and that's not what we want to do this month. So we're here to accept the imperfection and realize that nothing is personal. Everything is happening for our benefit. The only reason we came into this realm is to become like the creator, become the light of the creator. And these are all Kabbalistic concepts. This is from Kabbalistic astrology, which means that this moment is perfect, exactly the way it is, even if you're not completely at ease with it. So this is like Teshuvah is this like sacred practice to revisit and reflect. So looking back on any decisions that you made in the past where you decided to work with someone who wasn't a great fit. Another example that's coming to mind is I had a client who we worked together for 90 days and she got amazing results, like incredible. And after the end of the 90 days, I pitched her on a 6-month program to like continue the momentum that we had built. And she said, I have to think about it. And then she asked me if I would be open to doing a barter where we were both helping each other. And in my mind, I thought that she knew something that I didn't and had answers for me that were going to make this a positive endeavor. That was not a great decision on my part because I was really looking for, I guess, validation and respect and to be valued in this other person. And it changed the dynamic of our relationship. And since then, she spent $25,000 on another mentorship program that has it's all group, but now she's coming to me for one-on-one. as a friend, not actually in a container. And so I am now looking back at this decision, and I'm making a different decision from a different level of consciousness. And you can do that by visualizing the situation when it happened and coming to it from a new level of consciousness, knowing what you know now. And it isn't about beating yourself up or feeling regret, like, I can't believe I made this mistake. It's really taking the perfected self that's shining down on you this month, the information, expertise, wisdom you have now, and transporting it into the past to change the trajectory of the future. Because what I know is money is just an indicator of value provided to somebody other than yourself. And the universe does not recognize bartering. Money has to be exchanged. There has to be an energetic exchange to value what both people bring to the table. Otherwise, it's just like free advice that isn't really valuable. And I did that to myself from a scarcity mindset almost. I was afraid. And so that's something I'm working on myself. So instead of judging this as a mistake, I'm like, okay, now, and it was like, I knew this at the time. I had this feeling, but I really wanted to be friends and continue our relationship. And it seemed like a good idea, but I recognize this now. So I would choose to say no to that. Just to be clear, I would choose not to do that anymore. Okay, so there's 4 categories that we can look back and reflect on during the season. The first one, they say it's idol worship, but it's not the way you think. It means seeking validation, approval from outside yourself, from anyone other than the creator. So comparing yourself to other people on social media, they have more following, it seems like they're making more money, their life is better than mine. Holding yourself back from speaking your truth in your content because you're afraid of being judged or criticized or triggering someone, so you don't speak with that level of conviction because you just want everybody to like you. But if you're not repelling anyone, you're not attracting anyone either. I have another client who started with me a month ago and just started on TikTok, like literally in the past few weeks, and went viral yesterday. She's a 5-1 generator. And there's the comments, the people are so triggered, and she had held herself back from sharing a lot of any of this up until we started working together because it's really scary. But that's us giving our power away to someone else and saying like that we're not, if we really show up authentically, we won't be accepted, or it'll upset people, ruffle feathers. That's what we want. Not controversy for the sake of it, but authenticity is the highest form of love. It's 5,000 times stronger than love. Okay, relationships. So this is, obviously these are definitely things I'm working on right now. Relationships. So looking at the boundaries and the type of communication and and it doesn't just mean setting boundaries or not fighting with people. Like, I think that's sometimes where our mind goes when we think about relationships, but it could also be a lack of proactive, positive communication. We oftentimes take those closest to us for granted, where we're getting along with everybody at work or, in our business, but then we go home and we're not treating our own partner or parents or kids the same way. And so that can also be an area that pops up for you to reflect on this month, and knowing that it's not for you to feel bad or beat yourself up, but asking yourself, what is one nice thing I could do for this person to show them how much they mean to me? Going out of your way to care for the people in your life. The next one is misplaced desire, also called adultery. So this could be, adultery just means taking something that isn't yours. And it's almost from this physical compulsion, almost like addiction. You could be reaching for a drink. Like, it could be adultery in terms of another person's partner and having an affair, but it's more like you have this physical, you're compelled to go, take the substance, take something because you want that instant food, sex, instant gratification, because you think that's where that'll make you feel better. But it's really coming from a reactive place, and reactive just means any thought, action, or decision that comes from a place of being a taker, taking something that isn't yours is adultery. And it gives you a short burst of instant immediate gratification. You actually do receive some light in that moment, but it slips through your hands because it was never really yours to begin with. What is meant for you will always be yours. If someone else might be holding it right now temporarily while you build the vessel, the space, the creative vessel to be able to hold it, no one else will ever be able to take it from you, and it will all be given to you. It's coming to realize that, you know, when white light shines through a prism and it creates all the colors of the rainbow, are the colors of the rainbow what we want to be chasing, or the white light? The white light from the creator creates all the colors of the rainbow. Another place we could do this is believing that our clients or partners or jobs are the ones paying us, when in reality they are just vessels. You'll never be able to receive beyond your capacity to hold it. And our only job is to create the space from a place of desire within us to hold this thing. And then the creator will give you all of it. The creator will give you all of it. That's why this situation with this former client, I came to realize, I think I said yes to that situation because it was from a place of fear that, well, what if she left? Because when I had talked to her about renewing and she said, well, let me think about it, I was like, oh, she doesn't have the money, so I'll just say yes. Just so wild. And the last one that we don't see the true impact of it is evil speech. And this can be really hard when we're talking about social media, because being controversial and speaking with conviction cuts through the noise of the algorithm. But are you doing it because it's really your truth, or are you doing it for the sake of controversy? So this means gossiping. And I have been really torn on this because almost every piece of content I create about Croatia since we moved here, I talk about how Trump was the catalyst for getting us here. And I feel like everyone has their place, everyone's doing their job, and it's for the benefit of us all. But people came down on me for hating on him, and I'm like, is that evil speech? I really am grateful to him because that was the catalyst. We wouldn't be here without him. And so I've really been thinking about that. And then another example is, they talk about this, one of the sages in Kabbalah, that it was a teacher and a student, and the student really loved this teacher. He was getting a lot from him. And one day he's driving by a mutual friend's house and he sees the teacher coming out of someone else's house, and he knew it was like a husband and wife that lived there, and found out that the husband was gone. So the teacher was in the house with the wife by himself. And he took it to mean that they were having some kind of affair or tryst. And so he starts sharing this with everybody that he knows. And later finds out that she needed help with something in the house. And the teacher was there really doing a good deed. And so he goes up to his teacher and he said, I'm so sorry. I spoke out of turn and I apologize. I didn't mean to do it. Like, can you forgive me? And the teacher said, yeah, let's have a conversation. So he takes him, he said, do you have a pillow? And he said, yeah. He said, get a pillow, bring that, the feathers in the pillow. He's like, yeah. He said, bring that pillow with me and come to the roof. Took him to the roof of the building. And he said, I want you to cut open the pillow and then get all of the feathers out. Like, get all the feathers out. And the guy's like, really? Really? You want me to do this? Like, what's the point? He's like, yeah, just stay with me for a moment. And so he shakes the pillow out. The feathers go everywhere. They're floating like all over the buildings and down the street, and just, they're everywhere. And he said, now go pick up every single feather and put it back in the pillow. Then I can forgive you. Because the second you gossip about somebody else, we're judging them, what they should do, what they shouldn't do, their intentions, and we often assume it to be the worst. We're not giving people the benefit of the doubt. Even though this was his teacher who he had a lot of respect for, he wasn't giving him the benefit of the doubt. And he said, once you tell one person, now that person tells someone who tells someone who tells someone who tells someone, and you don't have control over where that that gossip goes, and it's really impossible to take back. But now that we're in this month of Virgo, we can actually go back to a decision where we, decided to do something like that and change it from our elevated level of consciousness, and not only make it so it's like we never gossip behind that person's back, but that our life is even better than it was before, because we've transmuted that darkness to light, and it's just increased exponentially. That's the power of this month. So Virgo is very detail oriented. It's really here to help you refine your systems, like the daily habits, how you're showing up in your business, like preserving your energy instead of trying to be all things to everybody, like over complicating. And spiritual entrepreneurs are the most overcomplicatingest creatures ever. And I know, because I was one and can still be one. We've got funnels and websites and lead magnets and 15 different platforms and payment processors and all of these different things floating around, doing everything manually, hustling in the DMs, trying to get, our next one-on-one client. Nothing's actually really working. This is about refining, optimizing, making things flow more smoothly, and ensuring that the daily actions we're taking are moving us in this positive direction. It's not to hustle endlessly. Although physical and spiritual work is required to manifest anything you want in this life, it isn't to burn you out or exhaust you. How can we make our lives easier? So one of the things I did, I went back through my weekly calendar. I was switching calendar apps because I had this one that I didn't like. And I got this idea from my human design coach. I labeled each day of the week with the planet that it's associated with and what is the best thing to do on those days. And so Monday is Moon Day, Tuesday is Mars, and they're good for different things. And so I did that, and I created my schedule for the whole week. And it's actually made my daily life so much easier. I'm not trying to do everything every day. I have days designated for things. So that's just a suggestion or invitation if that sounds useful to you. You can comment below if you want me to go into more detail about what all the days of the week are for, but it's pretty cool. So this month, what we want to do is just being intentional with our eating, not eating and scrolling at the same time, because whatever you're consuming, whether it's food or news or information, it becomes part of your energetic body. So what are you putting in your vessel? Chewing your food, which my mom always gets on me for, doing some lymphatic massage, and discernment when it comes to the content you're consuming. Are they nourishing or toxic? And so remember how I said I was going to give you this miracle formula? This thing works. So my invitation for you, and I'll walk you through it in more detail if you want to join my Skool community and you like hanging out with other spiritual entrepreneurs who like human design and business and systems. Again, it's Skool, skool.com/Amanda, and you can post your answers there. So the spiritual work, we want to choose one area of reflection. Like, what was one thing that I said earlier that you were like, ooh, that's good, I need to look at that. So just choose one from those 4 areas of reflection. The first, you're going to take a piece of paper and divide it into 4 quadrants. I find mine. There we go. Into 4 quadrants. And the first one is spiritual work. So where are you being reactive, going for instant gratification instead of proactive? Where are you outsourcing your power, and how can you be more proactive instead of reactive? So the spiritual work is list out all of the ways you're being reactive. So one of mine was like making TikTok videos, reaching for instant gratification, like scrolling, looking at what other people are doing and comparing myself to them. The second quadrant is the physical work. So what physical actions do I need to take to realign with my higher self shining down on me and my soul's purpose? So I need to upgrade the classroom inside my school, the 100K Business by Design. I'm doing a 5-day launch your Skool community challenge right now, so I need to promote that. By the way, that challenge is dope. I'm meeting with 2 people one-on-one over 5 days to set up their entire business foundation. You can find more information about that in my Skool community. So the physical work is I need to promote the challenge and create YouTube content. Then the next quadrant is certainty. So, how is this situation good? How is this a gift? What is it pulling out of me? How can I see the good? Because this is all just it's a negative situation. It's a positive situation disguised as a negative situation for the sole purpose of helping us connect to the light. And when you come to it from that perspective with total fucking certainty, shifts. And then the last one is prayer. This helps our ego know that it is not in control. It's easy for us to take credit for the successes and feel like a victim when we're failing, but if we can pray and ask for the clarity, the certainty, the strength, the courage, it will come. When you ask, it is given. And here's the Launch Your School. I'll put the link to this document about what the challenge is in the link below this video. So let me know what your biggest takeaway was from this video, and I will see you in the next one.